Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ju. So today we are going to talk about renting culture in Germany. And stay tuned till the end. I will show you my rented units in Germany. So here comes the interesting question. If you thought renting in Germany looks like this, but in reality it may end up like this. So renting in Germany is like opening a Pandora box. Empty apartments, no kitchens, no lights, and maybe there's 20 people fighting for the same flat with you like a job interview. And that's very normal. So I think for most of the foreigners, renting in Germany is like a brand new adulthood, full of forms, rules, and surprises that we never expected. So today, welcome to Renting 101 in Germany, the survival guide for the expats and foreigners. And the fun fact is that, you know what? In Germany, more than half of the Germans rent their house instead of buy. And we will review the reasons behind later in this video. So now, welcome to the surprise number 1. Empty apartments, no kitchen, no lights is normal. That's my experience when I first went into an apartment. There's literally just white walls. So that's the first word that I learned in my renting experience in Germany. That is Einbauküche, the built-in kitchen. Because as a Malaysian, I'm not sure about other Asian countries, it is a standard practice to have a built-in kitchen. Kitchen is a very important element for the Asian or for the Malaysian because we love to eat. So it is a very big culture shock for me to have a visit to an apartment which literally has nothing. Because in Malaysia, the standard practice for apartments, house would be most likely there's a partially furnished, that you have these kitchen cabinets, the sink, you have the hiat, what is it called in English? Oh, that's the stove. So that is the standards of Malaysia. So for me to visit units with literally nothing, it's like, wow. So make sure that you read through the description to know whether it is fully furnished, partially furnished, or unfurnished. So normally the unfurnished means that there's no built-in kitchen in there. But here's the interesting thing in Germany. Even though there's built-in kitchen, it doesn't mean that it will pass to you. You need to clarify that this built-in kitchen belongs to the house or belongs to the current tenant. Because for the renting culture in Germany is that the tenants will uninstall the built-in kitchen and pack with them and move to their new units. Can you imagine? I'm very sure that for Malaysian, it is abnormal. It is impossible that this thing happens in Malaysia. And I'm very curious about the other countries. In your countries, does it comes with the built-in kitchen? Let me know in the comment down below. But for me, myself, I really need a built-in kitchen, and you will see in the end of this video. So well done, you have read through all the description and you find a place that you really want to rent it there. And here comes the surprise number 2. Get your apartment like a job interview, especially in the big cities. It is a very interesting German culture, I would say, that you need to rent a place like you are doing a job interview. But maybe there's this secret tricks that the German government would like to train their people to be much more competitive in their job market. Even in their renting culture, they start prepare their people to train their presentation skills. So in Germany, renting a place is not first come first serve. It's the best tenant win. So when you show up to a viewing appointment, so-called the Besichtigungstermin, you need to better be prepared for all the documents to prove that you are the best among the others so that you get the apartment. So you need to prove that you are financially stable, you have a healthy lifestyle, do you have a pets, do you smoke, And it will be a big bonus that you prepared your Schufa, that is the credit report in Germany. So now you are ready to sell yourself with all these documents in hard copy ready. So do you guys need to do a job interview when renting an apartment in your country? At least in Malaysia there's no. So I'm very interested to know what is the renting culture in your country. So please comment down below. And here is the interesting part. In Germany, when you are looking for a share apartment, your future roommate will be the one who interview you. So the financial income is of course one of the concern, but there's a lot of other factors may affect that whether you can get this apartment or not. Your first impression on her or him, your vibes, like your lifestyle, does it match with them? So it's like meeting a friend for a first time, and this impression will decide whether you get this apartment or not. And to be honest, I think this is kind of like practical and also giving some of the rights to the current tenant to choose their own partners to live with. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is a good idea? So now, congratulations! You got your feedback from your landlord or from your roommates that you got the apartment. So here comes the surprise number 3, Mietvertrag, so-called the rental contracts. You know what? The German likes rules and regulations. Make sure that you read through every single wording in your Mietvertrag, your rental contracts. Normally, there will be a house regulations. You need to stay quiet in Ruhetag, and there's this recycling rules. And interestingly, there's something called Treppenhausreinigung. So make sure that you clean your staircase regularly, otherwise your neighbors will come to you. And in your rental contracts, there's this Die Kosten für Schönheitsreparatur. So meaning that when the tenant move out from the unit, they need to repaint the units to the original state before handing over to the landlord. And I think that is this brilliant clause that minimize as many disputes as possible. If you doesn't do that, the landlord hold the rights to deduct your deposit. Because in Malaysia, I think the renting culture is not so matured, So sometimes you're having a bad tenants, they just left, and it is impossible for the landlord to ask them to restore the units back to the original state. Sometimes the cost need to restore is even higher than their deposit because they doesn't have this kind of awareness or responsibility to really take good care of the units. Just some of them, not all. So I think this clause really minimizes a lot of disputes between landlord and also tenant. So how is it in your country? Do you need to repaint your unit before handover to the landlord? Okay, so after gone through all these surprises, here comes the favorite part. Why the Germans likes to rent? And this is a really big culture shock for a Malaysian or for I think most of the Asian. Because for Malaysian, we have this understanding that when you are 30s, you need to owning your own house, take up the mortgage to live in a safe, secure and stable life. So when I knew that in Germany, more than half of the people rent their place, I was like really super culture shock. And I think the first reason would be in Germany, they're super tenant friendly. So in Germany, there are many laws, rules and regulations which protect the tenants a lot. For example, there's this long-term protection stated that the landlord cannot evict the tenant without a valid legal reason. Or there's this limited rent increases that's regulated in every state of Germany. So this kind of measures prevents the rental becomes a big bubble in Germany. And in most of the cases, the big maintenance fees is under the landlord's shoulder. So why not? And the second reason would be buying a property in Germany is expensive, complicated, and full of hidden costs. So I'm not a professional here, I just have a quick research online that in Germany, you pay not only for the house, but also for the Grunderwerbsteuer and for the notary and registration fee, and also lastly, agent commission. So it ended up there's nearly 15% more on top of the house price. There's definitely a lot of costs. So as what I knew in Malaysia, we have no property transfer tax at the moment, but we do have some little fees here and there. And for the legal fees, if you are purchase a new property, most of the developer, they provide you these free legal fees. And for the agent commission in Malaysia, it would be around 3%. And it would be very interesting for me to know what is the practice in your country. And lastly, I think this contributes a big impact on the German renting culture. It is because of the German history and culture. After World War II, most of the houses in Germany were destroyed. So the government focused on affordable rental housing instead of private ownership. And it creates a culture that renting is normal and respected. It doesn't symbolize your status. Instead, it creates a safe, secure, and flexibility to your life. And this is the very interesting point that I observed, because this culture creates a high opportunity cost for the Germans, no matter they would like to move to another place for work, study, or travel. So they are much more free to explore their life possibilities. So in your country, do most of the people rent or buy the property? Let me know in the comment down below. And now here comes the interesting parts. Okay, now, so let's start the room tour. So when you go in the unit, there's this floor inside. So basically we hang our coats and everything here. And then here is the living room. And this sofa is really comfortable. And next to the living room, there's another room for work purpose. And here is my favorite balcony. We used to have summer barbecue here. For bathroom, just a standard and simple one. And here's my bedroom. I keep it simple, minimal, and here's my favorite part, the kitchen. So it is modern, simple, and minimalistic. And let me show you my cellar. So in Germany, it is very normal to have your own basement to keep everything inside. Is like a storeroom actually in Malaysia, but it is at the basement. So it's quite messy. And I hope this video strengthen your survival skills in Germany and also give you some interesting perspective about Germany and Malaysia. So we see you in the next video. Bye!